You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co-host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad-to-be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together.
So last week, during our podcast about lying, we kind of breached on the subject of like differences in opinions on video games between partners and stuff like that. And I know you and Beck sometimes have differences of opinions on games depending on the level. Obviously, one of the big ones, levels of violence, language used, and then like I know you were worried at one point about him playing, was it the Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy? So you kind of wanted to breach the subject with Becker about letting Noah play Hogwarts Legacy. So how would you start that conversation? Would you sit down with her and like this is the game and this is the premise and stuff like that and kind of walk through it and maybe show her some of it? Or is it just a like sit down and talk and be like, look, Noah really wants to play this. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like how does that conversation kind of go?
Yeah. So it's interesting. I really made a mistake. So Tears of the Kingdom was like the first one where I was like, hey, this game came out. I think Noah could probably play it. Let me show you some of it. I showed her not the wrong clip, but I don't know if you remember the intro clip to Tears of the Kingdom with like the Ganon and
The weird hands.
and then there's like the thing cuts and there's like the blood and his head kind of turns and she's like, nah, we out. And I'm like, okay, but wait, I chose the wrong trailer. And she's like, what do you mean? And she was like, now you're trying to like camouflage it. I'm like, no. I mean, yes, that's in there, but like, that's just the first scene. It's not near as bad the rest of it. So anyways, that was my problem with Tears of the Kingdom, but it's really just about, I'll try to tell her a little bit about what it is. Like, is it violent? I will try to find like, okay, this is like as bad as it's going to get. And a lot of time it's me just asking like, hey, are you cool if I play this with the kids? Like Noah is just now getting to the point to where he's like looking at stuff and trying and like finding stuff on like the Nintendo News channel and stuff like that, right? So like he came to me and he's like, oh my gosh, Splatoon Raiders looks amazing, because both my kids are like deep into Splatoon right now. They ebb and flow on it, but right now they are like really deep into Splatoon 3. And he was like, I just saw the thing about Splatoon Raiders, it looks great, I want to play it. And I was like, yeah, it does. I was like, I have no idea when it's coming out, but yeah. So right now a lot of times it's not him petitioning us or asking me to petition mom. It's really me just being like, hey, there's this game, I kind of just want to play it with them, here's how it is. So
yeah The only instances I have is with Roblox, with Logan. Like, I despise the game and the whole premise of it, that it's very community led. People make all kinds of different games. I mean, to the point where, like in Fortnite, some of the community made games in Fortnite I don't agree with, because it's allowing him to play games and levels themed around stuff that like he shouldn't be. He shouldn't have knowledge of. I mean, the kid knows more about Squid Game than I do, and he's never watched it, but he gets it all through other kids at school that are talking to, and like he plays Roblox levels and stuff like that. I mean, him and my niece were playing Red Light, Green Light today in the paddling pool, and that's been like something that I know he has played within Roblox. So,
sure.
I mean, it was good in a sense that I could play the Squid Game themed stuff in Fortnite with him, but it's just like Battle Royale with the Squid Game. Like, skins, and they had a couple of the games, so you could play red light green light in it, and the thing for getting all the way across as an area of the map is you got like a load of rare chests. So, and then like you could use a toilet to kind of whip out and transport yourself somewhere else, and you had all these really cool weapons. Um, yeah, I can remember like Lindsay was like, "Oh, he really wants to play Roblox," and I was like, it was the opposite way around. It was like, as a somebody that kind of is into gaming, and we talked about it regularly with Game Pass News and stuff like that, is that it's really hard to lock down parentally
Mm-hmm.
and limit the content that he's got access to. So I can do that really well through Epic. Epic is good.
Yeah.
It takes a while. You have to, like you said, you have to put out a whole weekend to figure it all out. But Epic's really good because I can limit him to just playing Lego, just playing Rocket Racing, just playing Fall Guys and stuff like that. So I can limit all that. I can limit the chat. I can limit the skins he sees. Like the community levels, you can completely disable those. So Epic have got a really good handle on it because obviously they want kids of all ages to play it. Where Roblox really doesn't have that. It's quite a struggle. Like,
Gotcha.
You either can or can't add friends. So he wanted to add a couple of his friends from school that play it, and so like we opened it up, and then like he added his friends and stuff, which took a couple of days because they kept writing the usernames down wrong while they were sharing them. So like, because
Yeah.
they're 7 years old.
Yeah.
And then when we had a look at his friends list, he had like a list nearly 100 people long, and we're like, you don't know this many people. Like, he's like, yeah, but we played in a game together, and so they added me as a friend. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't actually know these people.
Mm-hmm.
So Roblox is, and it still is to this day, one of those things that I don't like him having access to. So
Sure.
I'm kind of glad they don't have it as an app on the Switch, so he can only play it on his iPad, and I can really like monitor it on his iPad. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of a different subject, but Roblox is one of those things that I never got into. I don't know. Not hardly. I know very little to almost nothing about it.
Ditto.
And yeah, and so just because of that, like, and I've heard enough negative, right? Like enough negative to just be like, nah, you're not playing it. You're like, there's enough creative games. You're good. Like, especially now with like Lego Fortnite, and he's in Minecraft and all that stuff. It's like, that's fine. But to get back to the subject, so like one of the interesting things for me is like Becca's not a gamer, right? So she doesn't play games, but she does watch movies, and that's kind of her thing, like movies and TV shows and stuff like that. She watches a lot of that stuff, and we watch a lot of, obviously, that stuff as a family. So I'll oftentimes try to relate it to a bar on the TV show or movie scale, right? Like, so like with Tears of the Kingdom, initially it was a no, that was fine. That was before we went to Disney and before we decided, you know what, let's let the kids watch the Star Wars
Yes.
saga, right? And so then later after that, like 6-8 months after that, well, not probably longer, anyways, just recently this year, when I was like, you know what, I never beat Tears of the Kingdom, partially because I wasn't playing with the kids, and so it was hard to find time at night, and I'm older now, so I sleep more. I'm not used to I can't do Sean's crazy stuff that he does. So anyways, and so I told her, I was like, hey, listen, I'd like to really talk again about Tears of the Kingdom. You know, there's nothing that they're going to see in that they haven't seen already in all the Star Wars that they've watched. So I think it's pretty fair to say, you know, that they can watch it. And so, and she was like, okay. And she trusts, you know, she knows I wouldn't like lie to her about it. So she was like, okay, if you think that's the case, then go ahead. So Noah and I are now playing through Tears of the Kingdom, but that's one of the ways I try to relate it to for Beck, so that she can get a feel for, like, you know, I was like, when what's his name is like melting in the lava, like missing like most if not all of his limbs, and I'm like, trust me, nothing's going to be worse in Tears of the Kingdom than that scene. Like, not even like, it won't even come close to touching that bar.
Yeah. you're talking about the scene where Obi-Wan and Anakin are kind of shouting at each other. It's like, oh, we're supposed to be the chosen one. I hate you.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, and he's in the, I don't know, he makes the jump, but he misses the jump, and then he ends up in the lava or whatever. Loses. Anyway, so yeah. Before he becomes Darth Vader, I think. I watched them all with
Yeah, I
the
mean,
kids, but I'm not gonna lie. I only vaguely kept up with the story. So if I totally slaughtered it, Star Wars fans, specifically you, Bruce, don't come at me. I
I was gonna
love that.
say,
I love that you care about it so much, but I
yeah,
don't care
we used
about
to
it
have the
quite as
dads after
much.
dark after us. Please don't let Bruce and his and his Star Wars fans come chasing us because they can't outrun an X-wing.
Yeah. So that's
So no,
that's
yeah,
a way I relate it to kind of try to get back to understand it's this level of whatever.
yeah. I mean, Lindsay does game, but she games to like mobile games, and I think she's actually excited for Donkey Kong. She'll play Mario Party with us, sometimes Mario Kart and stuff like that. Depends on how much the kids kind of load and ask.
Mm-hmm.
So it is down to me when it comes to the games. She will kind of ask, like, Logan's been chasing after this, or like she'll show me an app that he's wanted to see. He's seen an advert for it in another app that he's playing.
Mm.
And it's like, she's like, Logan wants to get this. You think it'll be okay? And I'll be like, yeah, it'll be fine. It's basically just a click and find puzzle game. It'll be fine. Nothing can kind of go wrong in that. And then sometimes there'll be other ones, and it's like, that's a bit too graphic. Like I had to have I still need to have the conversation properly with my dad, but like I got there one day and my dad's playing Sniper Elite with Logan sat on his knee, and Logan's like shooting Germans in the eyes and stuff like that, and it goes into slow motion, and I'm like, I know that Logan can differentiate between real and not real.
Right.
I know he can, because like we play that much battle royale together now that I know he understands, and we had to have a really long conversation when he was like eliminating players in there, that it's not, you're not killing them, they're not dying, they are eliminated. So like I didn't like the terms that he was using.
Yep.
So
Yep.
and it's the same in Among Us and stuff like that. Is you are eliminating other players, you're not killing or murdering, doing all the not like the bad words that make it a negative. You're just eliminating. You've beaten. So when I get there and he's shooting gems now, and he's like, you can see the heads explode and stuff like that. I was like, it's maybe a little bit too graphic. He's only 7. But yeah, that's about it. A lot of the responsibility falls on me. It's the same with movies to an extent. Logan is a big Ghostbusters fan, so he's like watched the 1 and 2 that we watched as kids. He's watched the all-female cast, and then Afterlife and Frozen, something over the newest one. And we went to the cinema to see that, and it took a really dark turn.
I don't know that I've seen
got upset.
that one.
Yeah, Frozen Empire.
Okay.
Oh
no, I haven't. I have not seen it.
Yeah, Afterlife is great. It's very nostalgic. It's funny. It's got all the cute little marshmallow men that kind of come alive and stuff from the small Stave Puffs. The second one has an element of that, but the spirit that they release seems to be a lot darker. And there was a point in the cinema where like he kind of jumped and was scared about what was on the screen, and he like cuddled up to Lindsay and stuff, and like me and Lindsay are looking at each other as if to say like, yeah, we weren't expecting this. Oh crap, we're in for a rough night. But he was okay. We kind of like had the conversation when we were on the way home. It's like it's not real. It's all a film. They use computers to make the CGI. That's not real. There's no such thing as that. That's gonna hurt you. And he was okay with that. But that was a massive like. We should have watched it first without taking him, but he was that excited. We kind of just pulled the trigger, and we thought, well, he likes all the other ones. It'll be fine. So
yeah.
And it was the same with Emily with the Harry Potters. When she was younger, I was like, she will really love the Harry Potters. So we started letting her watch them. And I kind of knew that she'd be okay with like 1, 2, and 3 at like 8 or 9 years old. And then one day when I got to my mum and dad's, Emily's there and she's watching the Deathly Hallows with all like the scary stuff and people, and I'm like, But she then did have worries about it and got quite upset. And then I had her mum kind of ringing us and be like, "I can't believe she's watched this and this." And I'm like, "I can't believe it either. I am really sorry." So
Yeah, the grandparents. One day. So, how old was Noah? He's probably like 5, I would say, maybe 6. I don't know, somewhere in there. And he was on Grandma's phone, and I was like, "What are you doing, bud?" He's like, "Playing a game." And I was like, "What games you got downloaded on that?" And she was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just give it to him. I don't know anything about it. He just downloads stuff." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, let me take a look at that." And I mean, like, 90% of them were okay, but there was like two or three. The one was like, you were a U.S. soldier, and I mean, it was like top down, so it wasn't super graphic. But for 4 or 5, you're going around, you're shooting these things, and they don't just like keel over. They like explode blood everywhere, and I'm like, okay, this one needs to go for sure. There was like two or three that I was like, no, this one goes, this one's got to go. So yeah, it can be interesting for sure. And talking about having worries, so that's a big thing with Ariel too. Noah can sometimes get worried about that stuff, but Ariel especially will get a little freaked out. I mean, even with the serpent in Harry Potter, she was a bit like, "Ugh," and she'd already read the books. Like, we're making them read the
but
books first.
the obelisk, the big one that was in the Chamber of Secrets, or the one that kind of followed Voldemort around.
No, no, no. The one in the Chamber of Secrets that he takes the Gryffindor sword into, and so
Yeah, I can imagine. It's quite scary
yeah, yeah.
for a
So
small child.
yeah, she was a little like, "Ugh," about that, and we're like, it's not real. You know what's gonna happen because you've already read the book with mom. So it's like, so she got through it, but she was a bit freaked out. So we try to keep
Yeah,
track of that. And I guess overall, like, I can't remember who said this. It might have been one of the Nintendo dads that I first heard it about, and I really have taken it to heart. Of like, they'll have their whole life to do this stuff. Like, and I mean, I understand for us, like, we have nostalgia for it. We want to share it with them. We want to be part of it with them. But it's like, if you got to wait a couple more years, or if you even wonder if, like, I don't know, like, just wait a year. What is really going to be like the harm? There's going to be no harm in waiting a year. There might
yeah,
at least be some like recent, like, it's probably not going to be like long lasting harm, but just like in the here and now, there might actually be harm if you let them watch it now. You might have some sleepless nights and have to deal with some scared kids, and it's like the only real harm comes in letting them watch it too early, not letting them watch it later, in my opinion.
yeah, and and I agree with that completely. I mean, well, yes, I do. I mean, I was brought up on horror B movies and stuff like that with my
Yeah.
mom, like Hellraiser, Candyman, and stuff. But she brought me up. I was like 10 or 11 when I watched those, and it wasn't the same for my brother. My brother was different. But we are two completely different kind of. We were and are two completely different people. So I mean, like I think I have a better grasp on what isn't real. Like I had a cousin that used to play Mortal Kombat when he was like 4 years old and watch wrestling, but then like he would try and like suplex you and punch you in the face and claw at you because he'd seen it in a video game, so he thought it was okay to do. So there's just that limit of, like you say, wait a year, but also have a parental judgment in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like, has your kid got a grasp of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they can't go running around jumping on Koopa Troopers and stuff in real life and things like that, or do they not? Do they not understand that what they're seeing on there isn't like what can happen in real life? It's
Mm-hmm.
like things like Grand Theft Auto. Emily's 13 now, and she kind of stumbled across Grand Theft Auto on Jaya's Xbox, and I kind of like gone. She's playing it online. I'm like, how much damage is that gonna do? And I was like, she's 13. She's basically just driving around and doing the missions.
Mm-hmm.
Just I'm like, it's not that bad. Like if she was playing the main game because of the amount of language and stuff that's in the main game and the things that it gets you to do, I'd be more concerned. But she's played things like Far Cry and things like that. But at 13, I think I kind of have the trust that she knows it's not
Mhm.
real and that she's not going to just vanish off to a random island and start overthrowing an entire covenant and stuff like that.
You're gonna like look under her bed, and there are just gonna be stacks of drug money everywhere, just like. I think we've
Well,
taken this too
oh,
far. I hate to break it
yeah.
to you.
I mean, like, she likes to play the Tomb Raider games and stuff like that, and I won't stop her from playing those because I think it's really good for her to have. If she's going to idolize a video game character, idolize you know, an independent survivalist that is Lara Croft in the
Mm-hmm.
last two games. But yeah, there's a lot of judgments being made by parents, and I think
Yeah.
I've been led reasonably well by mine as to what I should and shouldn't be playing, and I think it's helped, especially with the gaming side of things, that I am as big a gamer as I am, and I can see what I can and can't let Logan play. So, like you said, some people might even frown upon the fact that he plays Fortnite with me, but the only time he really plays it is with me, and he's usually sat next to me. I don't let him use the chat function, so he's not hearing all the foul language from other people, and that kind of stuff. He literally just plays it to unlock skins and
Mm-hmm.
emotes and stuff. So the only one thing that has come from him playing Fortnite is he can do the crit walk for "Drop It Like It's Hot" by Snoop Dogg, because that's one of the emotes he wanted. So like he walks through the house and he's like doing the crit walk to like Snoop Dogg and stuff. So
I'm sure that's fantastic.
yeah, it's fun. It's good, and he likes the songs. So like I found all the clean versions where they get rid of all the stuff that he shouldn't hear, and he can listen to
Mm-hmm.
them. And I'm like, it's a shared interest, and we both have a shared interest of listening to some kind of hip hop. So
We got into like the more recent kids bop stuff on the way all throughout the trip, so like it's all those songs that take out all the words and all that stuff, and it's really funny because I just don't listen to that stuff much anymore, but like, and I don't think Beck really does, not with the kids that much, but like we were playing it, and then Beck and I'll start like singing along to a song, and they're like, you know the words to this song? I was like, man, this song is like like it came out when I was your age. Like, yes, I know the words of the song. So it's just funny sometimes. So it's just like, and
yeah,
so yeah, we got into that. But so like one of the other things I was gonna say is it's not always just, and you kind of alluded at this, like there are numerous different things to look at. Like, is it, is it good? Is it gonna freak your kid out? That's one thing. But there's also, and you've talked about Logan with this, and I have seen it in some online games with Noah. I think Noah's getting better at it. And so, but there are times we've pulled him off of online games because like when he gets off, he's just more irritated and stuff like that. So it's not that he
yeah,
can't handle it. It's not that he doesn't. It's not that he thinks it's real. I kind of think maybe he's just frustrated at the game, and so he just gets off, and he's just a little bit more irritated, and not as just his jovial self. So like that's the other side of things to look at too. That's not like, oh, you can be your child can be a-okay with playing the game. It's not going to affect him. He's going to understand it's not real. He's not going to have nightmares over it. But like it can change his mood and attitude when he gets off. And so I think that's another piece of that puzzle to look at.
yeah. And that was Roblox for Logan 18 months ago.
Okay.
So he was playing it, and his attitude was absolutely awful. He wasn't listening. He was really like back chatting. He was just miserable. He wasn't his usual self.
Mm-hmm.
And we tried all kinds of different things. Is it that he's watching TV? Is he watching his iPad too much? So we kind of reduced the time on his iPad. That didn't change anything. Is he going to bed overstimulated? So he's because he's literally putting the screen down, and then we're doing the bedtime thing and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
we introduced like a curfew for electronics, like an hour before bed, and then they have to go and do something creative or read, to kind of the whole blue light
Mm-hmm.
thing that you get from screens and stuff like that. that didn't change anything. So we kind of one day we kind of lost him. We were like, look, that's it. We're taking Roblox away because that's the thing that you seem most interested in. We're going to take it away because you're basically being a little jerk, and we can't
Mhm.
carry on like this. It's not good for you. Within a couple of days, completely different kid, and
Hmm.
it was like, wow. So his maturity level couldn't handle the game and the aspect of it and how it was then affecting him as he came away from it.
Mm.
And now he's older, we don't have it as much. I still get the like, come on, Logan, you need to turn that. Oh, I'm just doing this one thing, and it's like, okay, I get that you're doing just the one thing, but as soon as that's done,
Mm-hmm.
modern day parenting with online games, you can't just pause it and come back to it
Yeah.
later. So, kind of have that understanding with
Mm-hmm.
him.
Yeah, you got to know. You got to know the games, right? Where it's like, no, you can just put that down. I know how the Switch works. Like, it's not an online game. It'll just stay right there. It'll freeze itself. You'll be
Yeah.
just fine. To the like Splatoonies where they're like,
We had that moment in a Fortnite match the other day. He was sat next to me, and we were both playing on this. Oh, I was thanks to him. I took the Switch 2 up to his room, and he was playing on the OLED Switch through his TV. And he sneezed, and like it's hay fever season for him, and he was being quite and like his face was just covered, and he's like going, "Ooh, ooh," and I like looked at him, and I'm like, so like I was like, I kind of put mine down, and he put his controller down, and I'm cleaning him up, but like in the corner of my eye because we just stood in the middle of the map, but like we were down to the last 10 sort of thing. Like consciously looking at the map, cleaning him. I was like, and he's like, "Oh, Dad, I can hear people. I can hear people. I can see footsteps." And I'm like, "I know, but you're still covered in snot." Got him cleaned up, and then we carried on. It was like, whoo. And he's like, "Wow, that was really close." I was like, "Yeah, that's what it is to play online games. you can't sneeze. Don't sneeze."
yeah, yeah. I think it was last. How long have we been back? Yeah, it was. I think it was last week sometime. Noah, I noticed had gotten into this habit of like, I'd be like, "Hey guys, you need to cut. I need to be done." And he'd be like, "Eh." He's like, "Oh, started a game. I'll do it right after this, Dad." And so, I did the jerk thing of like, I looked over at him. I was playing Zelda and he was playing Splatoon, and I looked over and he was in the lobby, not ready for a game. And I was like, "Hey, you need to be done, bud. Put it up." And then like I waited for a second, and he's like, I look back and he's like, "I just started a game." And I was like, "No, you didn't." I was like, "Nope." And I took it and I shut it off. And he's like, "I'm going to be penalized like 15 minutes when I start next time." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Next time when I tell you to put it up and you're not in a game, then don't go get in a game just so that you can say you're in one."
Oh, that's a sneaky thing to do.
It is.
I mean, I
It
can
is.
remember
But
as a
it's like,
kid,
come on.
like I had one of those old like CRT style monitors with a VHS thing inside. My parents used to come in and be like, "Right, we're setting a timer. When that timer goes off, you go to sleep." And like obviously a younger me was like, "Well, when the TV turns off, I can't turn it back on. I set this timer, and it's like amazing. It knows when to turn off." And then like as I got a little bit older and they were still doing it, I was like, "Oh, okay, when the TV turns off, I can just turn it back on again, and there's no timer." So yeah, that was like
I
the
forgot about
1990s version of my.
snooze timers on TVs, man. That's funny. Yeah,
They
that's
still
fun.
have them now.
Do they
Like my
really?
LG has yeah, my LG has a snooze timer. It's like it's brilliant for when Lindsay decides to fall asleep during a movie because you can just set a timer and I know like roughly that she'll fall asleep and 5 minutes later the TV will turn off.
That is that is interesting. I'm gonna see if my TV has it. It probably does. I just would no. I mean, I'd have even back in the day, I never used it all that much. Though it would be helpful when it's like you start now streaming shuts you off after a while, but it used to be, you would like wake up and the entire season was done and you're like, "Yeah, no, I didn't see any of that."
you were used to wake up to like the DVD had gone all the way back to the main menu and you were just listening to the same 30-second song over and over and over. But yeah, but no,
Yeah.
like now all you get is the message of shame from Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
are you still watching this? It's like, God damn it, yes I am. I am an awful human being. I turned into a potato and laid in this blanket all day. Leave me alone. So,
Stop judging
brushing off all the
me.
nachos and Cheetos.
That's so true. Love it.
So,
Yeah, so back to the topic at hand. Um But those are I guess those are the things that I look for. Like, is it going to scare them? Does it make them agitated? And when it comes to like trying to figure it out with a spot, in the end, Beck's usually like, I'll trust your judgment. Like, you just go, if you really think that's good, then she's good for it. But I'll try to relate so that she understands what it is. And then sometimes she'll come out when the kids are watching it and just kind of like read a book and look up every once in a while to see what she thinks.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've done things. It's understanding how you can put the parental controls in. So, like, Logan can only watch YouTube Kids on his TV. Like, he has the full YouTube app. But every time he turns it on, it only locks him to YouTube Kids. So he can't watch anything on there that he shouldn't be watching, kind of thing. It's like downtime on like devices, setting those limits. So, like, it isn't a case of doing what I did as a kid, where you wait for your parents to go to bed and turn the TV back on because nobody can control it. You know, things like Apple have got obviously the downtime. And Samsung and Huawei call it something else. I can't remember the name of it now. But you can set it for the Xbox parental control app. The PlayStation have parental control stuff, and of course Nintendo does. So you can just all those kind of things. You can kind of limit the maturity level for movies, games, and stuff like that. You can limit how long they're playing certain games and things like that. So and then obviously limit just how much they can use the device on a daily on a daily level. And I think a lot of that is a good thing from those companies in terms of doing those things and allowing you that level of control, because they don't want to not let kids play, and they don't want to not exclude them from it, because they know it's going to happen. It's the 21st century. But gaming is a big part of, well, for me anyway, in our household, gaming is a big part of what we do. It's something that I enjoy to do to relax. The kids enjoy doing it to relax and kind of switch off and regulate from real life. So, and I'll mention Epic again, because they are one of the best that I've seen for how they can limit stuff.
They're really good.
Doing stuff like they do really allows you to control and limit them and allow them more as they get more mature. So,
yep, I 100% agree. Also, just a side note, if it's a device that you don't think does a great job, check your Wi-Fi router. We have an Arrow that came with our service, and I can pinpoint a device, and I can give it a time frame, and I can just shut it off, and I can do all kinds of fun things. I mean, so I've never had to use it that way because everything else has worked just fine. But I have thought about using it for their laptops, and well, even their iPhone, the phone that they use for games. It doesn't always work very well. Like, sometimes it wants to give like an hour for this and an hour for that, where I just want it to be an hour overall. And so I've thought about setting it on that, but I haven't yet. But I did just go through, not just, but before vacation, I went through and kind of labeled everything, so I knew what most everything was in the house, which was a real chore, by the way. Some stuff does not have names at all, and so
they just have a weird DNS number and things like that, don't they?
Yeah, and so I just shut it off until somebody complained. That's how I figured it out. It was like somebody would be like, "This why is not working?" I was like, "Oh, I know why." I was like, "Just 1 second, I'll label it and then I'll turn it back
on." No, I think I only ever did that with Jaya's laptop, because she had this really good knack of the downtime would come on her phone, so it blocks everything other than the ability to text and call parents. And same with her iPad. And same with the Xbox. But then I couldn't control the TV, but she couldn't play DVDs through the Xbox. So she then went to plugging her laptop into the TV and using her laptop to watch YouTube. And I was like, that kind of defeats the objective. So found the IP address of the laptop and just give it half an hour longer than everything else. So then she thinks she was beating the system, and half an hour later, one night, it just turned off, and she was like, damn it. So,
very resourceful children are they?
They are. You can always guarantee they'll find a way.
Yeah.
So the only ones that I don't block and limit is the AI speakers we have
Mm.
from Amazon, because they both use rain sounds to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or fried chicken sounds, I call them.
You've told me that before. I get it. I do get it. It does kind of sound like fried chicken every once in a while. Yeah, they'll have that AI thing on every once in a while, and yeah, I almost said it, and I was like, oh wait. What else was I gonna say? And but theirs is also like locked down for kids, so they can't. And I love that you showed me how to get to the
recordings.
recordings of everything, because man, sometimes it's really good. It's real funny. I mean, so many times they tell that thing to play poop songs, pee song. It's so funny. It makes me laugh so hard. Like, really? Like, guys, this is where you're at. Cool. You do
So
it.
for
I'm
anyone
not gonna
who
kill your fun.
Yeah. So anybody that does have the Amazon A assistant in their house, the speaker, I can't say because mine's there and Nick's the same. His is literally to his left as well. Yeah, left. I had to make sure I was
You were
oriented right.
Yeah.
They you can go into the app and you can look at the communication history of each speaker. So each speaker individually or everything all together. So like every now and then I'll periodically go into the one that's in Logan's room and the one that's in Emily's room, and I'll like look at what they're asking, look at what music they're asking to listen to. So
Yeah.
it is funny, and like it's good when it picks up on just random conversations as well, because sometimes it will just trigger for whatever reason, and sometimes I can pick up on random conversations where Logan's playing games with his Lego and stuff, and you can kind of hear him, and it's quite cute. So
That's awesome.
I also like to use the drop-in feature as well when he's playing. I'll maybe if I'm cooking in the kitchen or something like that, or I'm just making a drink, or if I'm doing the usual thing of me laying on the kitchen floor because it's the coldest place in the house.
That's new. That's my favorite.
Yeah, it is. It's
I get it.
It's
I get
concrete
it, yeah.
with a kind of a layer. I'll drop into his room and like I'll hear him like yabbering away, playing with toys, or he'll be like playing Minecraft and he's talking away to himself because that kid really wants to be a YouTuber. So
he's got. I'm telling you, he's down. He's good.
Yeah, he can talk for England.
He can talk for England. I love it. So there you go. I think that's I don't know. That's all I got on this subject, I think.
Yeah, just obviously do your research. If you're not into games as much as we are and things like that, there are websites out there that do kind of guide you to the content. Watch some YouTube videos on it. You might enjoy the game yourself and you might be alluded to play. Same with movies. Always ask a friend. If you've got kids and you've got people and friends with kids, I have no doubt they're going through the similar struggle to you, and they'll maybe have already navigated the way through it. Or shoot me and Nick a message. We do a lot of gaming and watching a lot of videos, and we're happy to answer any questions you have. So yeah. Well, happy hump day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week, and enjoy your weekend afterwards. So see you later.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott, and you can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over, because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at Dad Crossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.